Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. And there's been some crazy leaks again. There's I don't know why, but just every single day on Instagram, just another crazy leak, right? So shout out to my boy Mike for sending me this on Instagram. But we know what the cushion is for the KD16. But before we get into that, we actually have a picture of the Treyon 3. So when I did the leaked images of the Treyon 3, we actually had just like the prototype design kinda, you know what I mean? Or it looks like a rendered version of the shoe kind of to me, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like an actual picture of the shoe. But now we actually kind of have the shoe, right? And shout out to Sesame_unboxing. But yeah, I'm actually really liking the Treyon 3 design. It looks freaking dope. You know what I mean? Like that midsole pattern, you know, it's copying the Adidas slides, but it looks amazing, right? Again, we don't know what the tech is, but I love that pattern. Also, the upper looks great. It looks super simple as far as the design goes. The 3 stripes logo, and then a heel, and then the flywire cables. It does seem to be like a mid cut, right? It does seem to go pretty high up on the ankle, but overall, this colorway is dope and the overall silhouette looks great as well. So I'm super duper excited about it. Again, the release date is September 1st. So that's in like 3 months. That's crazy. This year's basically over, guys. And also we have a player in WNBA wearing the Jordan 38. It's this really dope like orange mango. Actually, it's like the same color as my sweater, but it's all orange, right? It's a great looking shoe. And yeah, so it seems to have like okay, so in the midfoot, it seems to have like a lano weave type of thing going on, but it looks like a very, very thick cord, right? Where like, you know, you take string and then you kind of like get a couple of strings and you roll it together. So it looks like a thicker rope. But it also seems to have a lot of ventilation, right? But there seems to be an underlaying material, which is pretty interesting, but I'm really, really not liking how much cage there is on the midsole. Yeah, so now that I'm looking, there is a little bit of the foam exposed, but also like on the bottom, right, in the heel, it seems to have like a plastic cage there, right? And then all the way on the lateral side in the midfoot, we have a crazy plastic cage. And then in the forefoot, there's even more cage. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, as far as the foam goes, we don't really know what the foam is. But yeah, they're caging it like crazy. And then where the ankle is, we have some pretty cool patterns on the actual like upper as well. It is a high top shoe, it looks like, but we do have a pretty low cut here in the heel, which is pretty nice. I do like to have this part like cut out just because you don't really need a whole lot of ankle support here. And also sometimes when it's like pretty high here, it does dig into my Achilles a little bit when I'm like running down, right? Also the tongue looks very, very large. And here in the toe box, it seems to be using like a suede or leather material, which is, you know, that's pretty dope, I guess, but it does look a little heavy. You know what I mean? So Jordan, the 33, 32, and the 31 were pretty heavy, right? 34 was okay, 35 was okay, but the 36 was super duper light, 37 was light as well. The 38 is kind of reverting back to the old Jordans, which were kind of heavy, or it looks like it's gonna be heavy, right? Hopefully it's not, you know, especially with like this like corded material in the midfoot. Maybe it'll be light, I don't know, but it seems a little bit heavy, especially with all the caging. Also in the heel area for the upper, it does seem like there is a little bit of padding. It does seem a little thick as well, so we'll have to see on the weight, but I am pretty damn excited about the Jordan 38. Okay, so now moving on to the KD16. So the reason why I have the Zion 2 out here is because it's pretty much the same exact cushioning setup as the Zion 2, and the Zion 2 is a cheap shoe. It's like what, 120, I think it was 110, 120. So yeah, the KDs are 150, 160. So the cushioning tech is kind of a disappointment, honestly, right? So basically from the KD the 8, basically from the KD8, we've had like basically full length zoom, right? KD8 had full length zoom, 9 had full length zoom, 10, 11 had full length zoom, 12 with the full length zoom Strobel, 13, 14, 15, and now the 16 is changing it up. So maybe KD wanted something different just because he's had full length zoom Strobel for the past basically like three models, 12, 13, 14, no, 4 models, right? But yeah, in the heel, we can see an Air Strobel unit. And honestly, I'm not mad at it just because I love Air Strobel. Some people don't like it, but honestly, I like it. It's very, very comfortable. And it's not super bouncy, but then like, or it's not as bouncy as Zoom, right? But once you get going, right? Once you get going and you start sprinting and jumping around and stuff like that, it does get a little bit more bouncy. But when you're walking around, it's super soft and feels very comfortable, right? And also, it doesn't feel like there's too much compression or anything like that. You don't feel sluggish, or at least I don't, especially comparing to like the Jordan 37, you know what I mean, with the Zoom Strobel unit in the forefoot, especially because it was double stacked, right? But yeah, we have, you know, the Zion 2 has the same exact, you know, Air Strobel unit in the heel and midfoot, and that feels very nice. It's super comfortable, and also I did play in this today, you know what I mean, just so I could, you know, remember what it felt like. So Mike sent me these leaked images, right? Also shout out to All In Live, but yeah, Mike sent me these on Instagram this morning, and then I was like, oh, it's pretty much the exact same cushioning setup as the Zion 2, so I kind of want to play in it. And then I played in it today. I was like, oh, and I was reminded at how nice the Zion 2 was as far as the cushioning setup goes, and also overall as a shoe, you know what I mean. It is a little bulky and a little heavy for my taste. Although it's super supportive, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, so we have that Air Strobel unit, but what's in the forefoot? What's in the forefoot? So there's, okay, it's in Chinese, so I don't really know what it's saying, but we can see a little bit of an indentation, right? So we have a regular Strobel board in the forefoot, but you can see, it says Zoom, but I can see that it says Zoom and there's arrows pointing, and there is a little bit of an indentation for where the Zoom unit is. And it looks like a, I can't really tell. Maybe like the half circle unit, it looks a little bit bigger than like the, you know, the PG1, PG2, PG3 Zoom unit in the forefoot. It looks a little bit larger, but not by much. But it does look like it's top loaded, which is dope because obviously there's that indentation. So I'm guessing it's top loaded Zoom. So it's pretty much the same exact setup as the Zion 2. And then the KD16 also, the foam is pretty damn exposed, right? So the KD16 will probably have good compression. As far as the midsole goes here in the heel, like the Zion 2 also had a lot of compression as well. This foam was actually pretty damn soft. So yeah, the cushioning setup is pretty much the exact same as the Zion 2. The Zion 2, however, doesn't have amazing court feel, right? It's not terrible court feel, but also it's not amazing. So hopefully the KD16 feels a little bit lower to the ground. You know, hopefully the midsole is a little bit thinner, but we'll have to see on that. And then the traction, we have a very, very close-up picture of the traction. In this colorway, it's like this translucent outsole. We already saw pictures of it, but it's super duper close up, and it's just the gear traction, right? But one thing that I do like about it though is that the grooves look pretty thick. You know what I mean? Especially where the gear, like circular pattern is. So it does look like it'll be pretty durable, especially comparing to the KD15, just because the KD15 was very, very thin and didn't seem like it'll be very durable for outdoor use, right? And then we have a closer look at the midfoot shank plate as well. It looks like it's a midfoot shank plate. It looks like it's just plastic there. So, and then as far as the material goes, the material looks, I guess it looks thin, right? It looks like a mesh material, right? And then in the tip of the toe, there seems to be like a synthetic material, you know, that's a little bit more for like support and durability, especially if you do toe drags. And then for the tongue, we can see like a mesh material, and then a very, very open material as well. It probably has good ventilation. But yeah, that's pretty much the KD16. And what do you guys think? Are you guys excited about it? Honestly, I'm not mad at it just because the Zion 2 cushioning setup was nice. But comparing it to full-length Zoom Strobel, I don't know. Honestly, this is nice. I do like full-length Zoom Strobel. Sometimes it's a little too bouncy for me. I'm not mad at it, but like I feel like it is a little bit of a downgrade in tech, especially for the higher price point that KDs usually are. So yeah, it'll probably be a more minimal feeling Zion 2, which honestly I'm not mad at. You know, it'll probably be a little bit more minimal, and also hopefully it's a little bit lower to the ground. But if it's, like I said, like a lighter Zion 2, I'm not mad at it, honestly, right? So anyways, that about concludes this video. Again, tell us your thoughts on the KD16 cushioning setup down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.